Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic Lynette here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share a little project with you. This is one of my favorite things to make, and no, this time it is not collage tags. As you guys know, who are part of my channel, I love making collage tags, but today I'm going to make some faux postcards. This is another thing that I absolutely love making. I'm so addicted to them. I love the way that they look in a junk journal. So yes, I will be creating some faux postcards. Now I'm going to use the book pages that came in the kit. This is the My Story collection that I came out with about a month and a half ago now. And these are the beautiful papers. So I'm going to make 4 postcards today. Now I'm taking the Edith Holden book page and I'm cutting out my favorite parts of the page into the size of a postcard. And there's the first one. I have that little sparrow there. And now I'm just working on the second one. So I'm making the 2 Edith Holden postcards. I did use the dictionary page that came in my kit, but because of some of the words, the depressing words that were on my dictionary page, I decided to do that one a little differently. So you'll see that toward the end of the video. So now I decided that I'm going to use some of this avocado dyed paper that I have. I'm just using a glue stick to adhere my book page to the stained paper because I'm going to run it through my sewing machine later. All right, and now it's time to start playing with stamps. Now, because I love making these faux postcards, I have invested over, I think it took me a few months, I didn't buy them all at once, these Tim Holtz stamp sets. So I will leave links to them in the description box down below. That one that I'm using right now with the postcard headers, that might not be available, but if I can find it online, I will link it below. So first I'm going through and I'm just using some of the vintage prints to create my little postcard header on top of the cards. The next thing I'm going to do is make some faux postage stamps. This is another stamp set that I have and love from Tim Holtz, but this is something you could skip. You could just use some old postage stamps that you have in your scrapbook stuff, in your scrapping journaling stuff. You could just glue that on and make it look even more authentic. But I felt like creating my own stamps today, so I'm stamping them out and then I'm going to use some glossy accents to give them a shiny finish. Like I mentioned, this is a product called Glossy Accents. If you haven't heard of it, it just gives a nice, shiny, hard, resin-like finish over the top of your paper projects. And I will also link this in the description box down below if you haven't heard of it. Okay, so that's going to take a while to dry. So I set those aside so they could dry, and now I'm busting out my stamps again. So this is a set called Correspondence, and I'm just going to use some of the stamps. I love that mail, that processed mail stamp, whatever you would call that. I don't know, but I love that stamp. So I'm going to add that to the bottom of my postcards, and then I'm just going to play around with some of the other stamps and just give them a collaged postcard finish. So like I mentioned, that dictionary page had some words on it that weren't my favorite just to look down and see in the background. So I decided to take some white gesso. If you don't have gesso, you could definitely use just a white acrylic paint to do this. And I'm just going to wash over some of that text just to hide it away and put it in the background a little bit. Now I decided to grab some other elements that were in the collection. So this washi sticker is super pretty and I just love them so much. So I'm putting that on the postcard, and then I'm going to take this pink tag that was also in the kit and I'm going to add it to the area where you would typically write an address. Okay, so fast forward a few hours and my little postage stamps are dry. So I'm just going to cut those out and I'm going to adhere them to my postcards. Now what I also did off camera was run my cards through the sewing machine just to give them that little border. And then because I didn't take the glue stick to the edge of the postcard, I'm not really worried about it messing up my sewing machine or anything. So I'm just cutting these out. I'm going to ink the edges and I'm going to finish up my cards. I don't want to hide that stamp in the background there completely. That's something though that we would normally see on old postcards. So it's just fun to have it in the background instead of not. So I'm just like sloppily putting my stamp on there, as it would seem if you were really writing a postcard and adding a stamp. Sometimes they're a little off kilter, so that's what I'm doing with my stamps here, just to give it that extra effect. And then we are pretty much coming to the end of this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it inspired you to create your own postcards, even if you don't have the Tim Holtz stamps, or I know they can be a little pricey if you don't invest in them. There are other stamps out there. Sometimes you can find cheaper sets on Amazon. You might be able to find some other mail-like stamps mixed into other stamp sets I have before also. Or if you have great handwriting, you just might be able to draw some of that out yourself. So again, you guys, just thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.